There you go.
Hi, this is Kathy DeHart with DeHart Construction Services, located right here in the Inland Empire. You know, we're a family-owned business, and today our youngest member of our family is visiting. Kinsey, can you say hi?
Hi.
Now, Kinsey, I have an important question for you. Where do you think food comes from?
A market store?
You're right. But before it gets to a market, we have farmers and dairies and all kinds of other people who make food. Do you remember hearing that?
Uh-huh.
And then we have people who have to keep the food cold.
And guess what?
What?
I remember we getting strawberries at a little market.
Well, Papa and I, we work with companies that make food and keep food cold and gets it to the grocery stores.
That's cool.
DCS is a proud supporter of the American Dream. For all of your cold storage or food facility needs, visit our website at chillwithdheart.com. Once again, chillwithdheart.com. Serving all of California, CSLB 949062.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Legs and War Room. I want to give another shout out to our sponsor, DCS Construction. You guys go check them out. Go Google them and see if they can help you out. They're conservatives. They're supporting Latinos exiting the Democratic Party. Why wouldn't we support them? Not just Latinos, but anybody that may need their services. So welcome. We have our brother. Let you guys introduce yourself. Go ahead, guys.
What's up? What's up? It's Jesse Holguin, the founder of Lexit.
Hey, and I'm Alfred. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Alfred.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
This is Alfred, chapter leader. Yep, chapter leader.
OC chapter leader.
OC chapter leader. Heck yeah. So I'm excited to have the brothers on. It's been a couple weeks since we've been on, and so much has happened. So much has happened. Man, like we can't keep up. So let's dive in. Let's just have a let's talk moment. So let's dive in first. Let's get into our boy Trump. Trump. Oh my God. So okay. So is he indicted? Is he not indicted? Are they gonna lock him up? Some of the memes that I've seen, I'm not gonna lie. The meme where Trump was lifting weights, bro. They had my boy Trump. They had him lifting weights, and I'm like, come on, dog. Like he's just like fighting him off. So okay, so we're gonna go around and we'll talk about it. So to anybody that doesn't know what's going on, you've been living under a rock. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody knows. It's just this bogus stuff that the left is doing. They're trying to get this dude locked up. I guess they don't want him to run again, so they're trying to indict him. They're trying to get him not to run, and everybody sees what's going on. It's foul. Whether you've been like guys like me who have been critical of Trump, what's wrong is wrong. Either way, like it's wrong. Like they're scared of him. We know this. He's not playing the game. He never has played the game, and that's what they don't like about him. So they tried to indict him. So it was supposed to be on Tuesday. So we were all sitting here waiting, right? Like it's coming. And then it's supposed to be Wednesday. And then now we're hearing it's next week. And we're like, bruh, like, come on. So what do you guys think? Because this is wild, bro. So what do you think, Jess?
I don't even think he's gonna get busted after all. I don't think so now because they came out with that letter from Cohen where that he signed off saying that Trump didn't pay none of it and all that, and then Trump even tweeted today showing where Stormy Daniels before in the past said that they didn't even have no affair and all that. So I don't know how they be able to convict him, but like you said when you're talking about that meme at the beginning of the show, they had on social media they are making all these memes. The left has been clowning all these days.
Right.
They've been celebrating, but it was funny to me that I seen on all these Latino pages that they were every one of them were showing those pictures of Trump. They were all clowning and all that. They were quick to show it, but then when that other stuff came out, they don't want to talk about that. They're just all these. That's why all you people that are watching these leftist Latino pages, they're puppets for the the Democrats. But I just thought it was funny that even the president of Mexico, that's why he kind of like hypocritical, because we all know how corruption it is over there in Mexico. Imagine it's so corrupt over there, but even he's seen it's even ridiculous, he said. So imagine even other world leaders, even from the whole world, everybody knows it's a total sham, that they'll just do whatever. I even heard that there's even another special counsel even supposed to be checked. So imagine that. They've had two special counsels on Trump, all these endless events. All come our side. That should be Obama. They should be throwing all special counsels on Obama, Biden, Hillary, like all of that. See how the left is? That's why the Republican side, our team needs to wake up. See how
Right.
ruthless, evil. They don't care. The left, they'll do whatever against the law, corrupt, evil, whatever. They do not care. They have no shame. So that's what we have to wake up when you're going up against pure evil, like the Democrat now is pure evil. Then you have to know that you can't be trying to play Mr. Nice Guy all the time, and it just sucks because they have McConnell and Lindsey Graham and all these rhinos in there, and that's why nothing gets done. But they need to, even because now even we got the House. Look at, they've had it for what, 3 months now, 4 months, whatever it is, and they haven't even really done nothing all this time. They should already had investigations open against Biden and all this crap. But again, hopefully they'll wake up. But again, they're not doing anything. Go ahead, Alfred.
Yeah. And I think for the most part, we're starting to learn that we're starting to see, as Latinos, we're starting to see the two-tier system, right? We're starting to see that the left gets away with everything. You know, they're you know, as earlier Aaron mentioned about the meme, right? That he's, you know, Donald Trump is with muscles. But the reality of this is that you're starting to see the hypocrisy on the other side.
Right.
You're starting to see that although there's clear evidence that there was a laptop, clear evidence that there is election, and although people are saying, hey, there was no election fraud, listen, for the most part, you know, you can think whatever, but at the end, I think for the most part, us as Latinos, we're starting to wake up and to really see the hypocrisy on the other side. But the most important thing that we need to understand is that everything that the left is doing, they're doing it based on their current law, their own democracy. So we got to wake up and we got to just snap out of it and stop being like, you know, like somebody mentioned. I was listening to somebody's podcast, and they said the right needs to stop, you know, putting so much pressure in regards to the voting, in regards to the election, and just understand one thing, that the left, what they did is actually was completely legal. For example, they did ballot harvesting, right? They actually went after the younger voters, you know, something that they, you know, that Latinos ourselves, even us, you know, the Republican or even the right is starting to understand. You know, somebody mentioned, I think somebody mentioned on that podcast, it says, hey, for the first time I voted for Trump, and now I'm feeling like, you know, like a regret. And see, that's one of the things. This is the way the left works. They try to use every single it's kind of like an octopus, right? With all kinds of hands, through the media, to things that they're doing, the justice system, the DOJ, you know, and all these things. And that's the intent, you know, for the left. That's the intent, to make you feel like, hey, that's it. Don't even vote. Trump, we're going to indict you this time for sure. Just so you know, we can. This is the true meaning of election interference right here. When you have a puppet court trying to indict somebody, and they're trying to block somebody from running. This is election intervention. You know what I mean? So
right. No, 100%. Yeah, no, 100%. I agree 100%. You know the way I feel about this, and I totally understand somebody voting and then turning around, because I'll be honest with you, everybody, if you've been in this game, if you've been doing politics and been in the game for at least 3+ years, at some point you've contemplated tapping out. I don't care who you are. If you're been a conservative and you've gone balls to the wall, I hate to say it, if you're at some point you were like, you know what? Could I do something better with my time? Like, you contemplated it, because not only this is what it gets down to. It's not only the left really coming at you, right? It's the weak representation that we have. It's kind of like okay. Imagine and I always use this analogy all the time. So imagine you're a football game, but you're just the water boy, right? Because that's what we are. We don't get to play the game, but we're there. We're like whispering in people's ear. So imagine you see your team and they're losing. You're like, hey, McCarthy, I know you're the quarterback, but can you know what? Can you do me a favor? This guy's doing this. Just help your guy out. Like block for Trump, right? Like block for him, bro. And then all of a sudden he falls on the ground and you're like, well, that's frustrating because it's not even my team, the other team that's killing us. It's our team's folding. And I think this is what it comes down to. They indict them all the time, right? They put all these, what was it, Russia, Ukraine, all these things going against. What have we done to them? Like, what have we put them through? And that's the thing is everybody's always like, oh, they got Trump, or how come they do this? We could talk about the laptop. We could talk about what happened with the jab. We could talk about all these things. But if our representation, see, we're not there, but if our representation doesn't take that next step to say, okay, we're going to hold you accountable, we're going to have to, they need to quit playing this fake game. We're too nice, bro. No backbone. They're over there trying to play footsies with all the Democrats, trying to be friends with them. We need fools to go up. I went yesterday. I work for the city of Bakersfield. I went yesterday and pretty much told the council that they could be voted out. Like, bro, I stood in front of city council, even though I'm a city worker, and said you could be voted out because they could. Everybody, I had more balls than what most men and my 400 guys, and I was the only one to say it. But I think that's what it's going to take. It's going to take men to stand up and say, hey, look, they're doing all this to our side. No. Okay, who's corrupt? Let's go after them. Let's start indicting them. Let's start pressing charges. And we're not seeing that. And I hope and pray that we get some representation that actually does. And I think that's what it comes down to because, dude, McCarthy comes out, this is wrong what they did to Trump. That's it, bro. Like, that's it. Like, you wouldn't be a good homie in the hood. He'd be the dude you turn around, you're getting jumped, you'd be in the bushes. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, where's this fool? How do you even take off running? So I just, to me, it's always been about representation. It's always been, well, how come they haven't? Remember when Trump was like, hey, she could be arrested? She never was, right? Like that should have been 101. They should have did to her what they're doing to him. Exactly. That's what should have happened. But hey, hopefully we can get some momentum when it comes to holding them accountable. I hope. I don't know. Oh,
all of them, bro, like Pelosi, Maxine Waters, all of them have gotten so much richer since being in office. Right. They should all be under investigation. That's why they should be like, oh, you want to play like that? You guys are going to do all this tacking on Trump, eh? And then they're all just like you said, your homies getting jumped, and then all your homies are just right there watching, right there on the side. That's what they're doing, and they're right there. All this have been attacking Trump, all this sick, and all these they're not doing anything over there. And then that DA, it even shows he, as soon as his first day when he got in his position, he was letting criminals off and everything. Tucker exposed him that he was letting rapists and all these people. He was dropping felonies to misdemeanors and all that. And then he's trying to bring a bogus old charge against Trump. Everybody even says, even some on the left are like, what? That's a ridiculous old charge. The statute of limitations already ran out. Like, in all ways, it's a preposterous. Now it came out that he was hiding evidence, and then that letter, like I said, of Cohen, that right there blows it all out of water. That's why I don't think nothing's going to come of it no more. But it just shows that how the left, the radical far left, they have taken over the Democrat Party. They'll never be the Democrat Party of Kennedy and all of that. So any of you old-time Democrats, you're thinking, oh, you're a Democrat. They're not that same Democrat. They're righteous anarchists. They're righteous Marxists, communist, evil, godless, disgusting party. Eh? That's why, to me, that's why I always say they're the party of Satan. You have to remember that. They're not your old Democrats, but it's just disgusting what they're doing to Trump. And like I said, that's why you have to stop voting for these rhinos. You keep everybody, all these Republicans, they put some rhino comes out, and just because the GOP or whatever endorses them, there you go. Everybody's going supporting this rhino, and then they get in there and then they don't freaking do nothing. That's why, like everyone said, we have to hold them accountable, call out like, nah. That's why Lex said, we don't back rhinos. We're not going to back this, because what's the point? Like, if they're in there and they ain't doing nothing, we have to show them like, nah, you better put good ones in there, good ones that we actually like, because they're like totally don't even listen to the people. If we're telling them, nah, we don't like that candidate, they should go pick another one. But They just have to realize, wake up, bro, and realize that we're up against total evil. We're about even to lose America. They're even trying to ram the transgender, all that stuff down our throat. Like, always the borders, open borders, just everything, the economy, everything in all ways is all terrible. That's why. How could these people even be considered? That's what mind-boggling to me is that how could these people even consider to vote Democrats? Even if you don't like Trump, even if you say, "Oh, I'm not a Republican," you should just not vote at all then. Because how could you vote for this evil, godless, Marxist, disgusting, America-hating party? You guys need to wake up. Go ahead, Alfred.
Yep. Yeah, one of the things that we got to understand is the the action plan. I think for the most part, a lot of Latinos are waking up, like yourself, like myself, and I know some of you probably since 2016 you've decided to vote for a righteous. Well, I don't want to say righteous because Trump ain't righteous, but he wasn't a politician. So therefore, he wasn't a person that could easily be swayed, right, because of his business dealings, right, everything that he's done. But for the most part, some of us are discouraged because we're paying close attention to what's going on in the media. So I'm going to tell you guys, please turn off the media. Do not pay attention to what's going on.
Right.
Remember, a lot of these things that are happening is for a reason. 2016, if we could take you back to 2016, they've been singing the same song. Since 2017, they're actually been talking about indicting Trump. Remember, in the beginning, something that Trump did was actually to remove something from them. Remember, this plan was supposed to happen in 2016. The Marxist movement, the gender, the complete overhaul of the COVID law, lockdown and things like that. It was supposed to happen in 2016. Unfortunately for them, Trump came in and actually stole, in a good sense, right? He understood that he could take advantage of cable TV and got more votes than they did. And see, he did something righteous, which is he was able to use media, social media, cable TV to actually get people to come out and vote. That's why he got more than 75 million votes. So for that, they hate him for that. And remember, the left, that's the plan. Since they weren't able to bring him down in every single trial, first with the the Russia collusion, and then you start going into the like mentioned the Stormy Daniels. He pay off this, the hush money, whatever. If you start thinking about it, it's not even illegal. So even itself, think how else will he can't use any contribution money from, to pay off to anybody. So what do? He uses personal money. So therefore, it's not illegal. If you look at the, if you look at the law, it's not illegal to do that. But here's the left. They just want to narrow you down, keep you like with the blinders on and say, this is what's going to happen. And that's where we all need to wake up and actually don't pay attention to what's going on out there and continue to speak the truth, to those people that are, like myself. I was like, is that who I voted for? I voted for Trump, and now look at what's going on with the guy. No, and don't get discouraged. Think about it. They've been doing this for 30 years. They've been taking advantage of the Latino community for 30 years through the Obama, through the Clinton, through the George W. Bush Jr. and Sr. They've been doing this for 30 years. So for us that are just barely waking up and getting involved with politics, don't get discouraged. Keep on pushing.
You know what's a trip? Hold on, let me go quick. What's a trip is that all these people, they just even hate Trump, whatever, and all that so much that they don't even care. There's like they should be seen like, wow, this is another attack. Like he's the most investigated dude on planet in the history that ever was, and you should think it'd be like, man, hey, isn't that enough? I'm like, damn, they're just all over, but instead they're, hey, Trump. I even seen some independent Latino page where I don't want to say his name, but he tries to act like he's an independent, but even he was posting, clapping about clowning Trump and all that. And like, wow, how could you be posting that? He should be posting saying, man, another witch hunt against Trump, like these corrupt old Democrats, they're weaponizing the justice system. This is disgusting what they're doing, because it's going to affect America. Like we can't even trust our own government. Like look what they're doing. Like Aaron always says, it's going to have repercussions way long beyond Trump. Because it's ruining our whole system, everything, just because they hate Trump, and these people are just going along with it, laughing about it, whatever they should be saying like us. Like, you know what? They should be mad. Like, hey, that's ridiculous. Like I said, because if they could do it to Trump, they could do it to anybody. We already seen it. They did it to General Flynn. Like, even look at all the Russia hoax, all that came out. How come Comey, all these FBI, all these fools, how come they ain't in jail? How come there ain't special counsels on all them or whatever? They should all be in jail for the Russia hoax, all that crap. But look at nothing happens to them. We're even sick of it. That's why I never hold my name. Whatever happened to Durham? Remember, everybody was having Durham's gonna get and the Hillary and the witch hunt and all that. Ooh, that's all like he ain't. I'll believe it when I see it. Hey, now look at you don't even hear whatever happened to Durham. You don't ever even hear his name.
Nothing.
And so once again, that's why I was pissed off when they put him in there. I was like, he ain't gonna do nothing. They should have put somebody good in there. That's what Trump made a lot of mistakes, bro. Like even Barr, when he put Barr in there, even Ray he was the head of the FBI. That was like whenever, even years ago, people asked me, what's the biggest thing you think about Trump that messed up? And I said, putting Ray in there, the head of the FBI. That was a huge mistake. Even it bit him in the butt with all the Russia heat, and he wasn't even doing nothing. And Comey, all of them. That was a huge mistake. He put all these dummies in there, knuckleheads, and that's why the psychos are running the asylum now, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's a good segue. We're going to get into that, but I want to say something before we get into the mistakes, because I want to talk about some mistakes that I think that maybe, and it might not be a topic, because I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh my God, I want to hear about Trump's mistakes. But I want to talk about something that Jess and Alfred just talked about. I think it's so true. And Trump talked about it. And like I said, and I'm going to say this until the day I die, everyone's going to be like, remember the way A-Rod said, the only thing he ever said was watch Trump's January 6th speech. I'm telling you, if you haven't watched it once, watch it 10 times over. And he tells you everything you need to know right there. And whatever people think there's some plan or people think there's this and that. And he tells you exactly, the swamp was too deep. I did as much as I could. It's up to you guys. They never wanted me. It was actually you. And that is so true, because think about this. The day before he ran as a conservative, they loved him. They hated us before that. The minute he comes out and champions our voice, they hate him. See, a lot of people that don't like him are godless. Why they don't like him? Not because he's a super Christian. It's because we believe in God. That's why they don't like him. Because he's championing our beliefs. And when people can understand that and say, there's a lot of, I see independent Latinos out there that I don't believe in God. I don't believe in God. And that's why they hate him. Not because you ever like see a group you're not cool with and you're cool with somebody and they join that group and they got like a bigger platform and you're like, man, I don't like you even more than them because you're putting them on a level that you shouldn't be putting them on. That's the kind of hate they have for Trump, because we were like a bunch of little nobodies. And Trump, this popular guy, came along, gave us a platform, and they're like, oh, we hate you because you're pushing their agenda forward. Oh my God, we hate you. So the level of hate they have for him is because he championed a voice that they can't mix. It's a bad spirit. It's a good spirit with a bad spirit, and they hate it. And he's giving us a platform for us to say, hey, we want to push back on transgenders. Hey, we don't want this crap in our schools. And he's already got this platform, and he raises it up. It's like it just gets to the gut of them. They don't like it. I truly feel, because it doesn't make sense. They loved him the day before. He's still the same guy, really. You know what I mean? Like what it is, it's us. He's right. They don't want me. I'm just in the way. They want you guys. They want you guys out. I'm just one person. But okay, so let's talk about a mistake. We're going to talk about Trump and DeSantis. So I see it like this. This is just my opinion. I think it's a mistake. And the reason why I think it's a mistake is because I think if the elections were to be held today, Trump will mop the floor with them. It wouldn't even be, okay, that's just getting it out there, right? I'm not saying I'm a huge DeSantis fan or I'm this whatever. It doesn't matter to me. But I feel like he'll mop the floor with him. I feel like people need to understand, and I get this a lot. Everybody's like, oh, look at A-Rod. 2024, he'll be back, and he's going to have egg on his face, right? And let me pose to you this question. When Trump's gone, who's the next man up? DeSantis. So you're hating on the same guy you're probably going to want to vote for after he leaves. Is that a smart decision? Is that a smart decision to run your next, and here's the football analogy again. When they're like, okay, we're about to hit that mark where all quarterbacks going out and the new ones coming in. Have you ever seen a team bash the new quarterback while he's in training for the first couple years as a rookie? No, you don't. Trump doesn't need to be bashing him. I feel Trump's up here, and it's a different league. He's in the major leagues, and DeSantis is in the minor leagues. I feel he doesn't need to, and I feel in the long run it's an ego issue to me. And the reason why he's doing it because he's wanting to make his base happy, and I get that, but to me it's like when you're doing that, you're actually weakening our side because he is the future. When you leave, I don't see anybody else stepping up. Like, who do you want? It's going to be DeSantis or it's going to be Newsom. So you're basically putting your head on the next person up to fill whatever need you are, but you're already there, bud. You got it. Like, you got it. If you feel like the Republican Party is going to endorse him, bro, you're bigger than the Republican Party. That's already a fact. Trump is, whatever Trump says goes. We know that whether we like it or not, he got a following that could never be matched from here to I don't know when. So I just want to say that what is your guys' opinion on the Trump DeSantis thing? Do you think it's a good move politically? Do you think it's a bad move? Does he really need to be exposed like that, DeSantis? You know what I mean? Even if he runs again and he's thinking about his political future. So I want to pick your guys' brain. What do you guys think?
I think it's bad, and I don't like it. It's just like if you have two of your best friends and they're fighting, what do? You stay out of it. Either you stay out of it or you try to reconcile, try to make them to stop fighting instead. But like I said, a lot of these Trump people, and we haven't decided who we're going to go for or what. So we like both of them or whatever and all that. They're both our homies, our teammates or whatever. So that's one thing I give the left. You won't ever see the left do stuff like that. Even when they had Bernie against Hillary, they were never all attacking all each other, all sick like that. They stay united like that. To me, it shows a little bit of narcissism or whatever from Trump. Like if he wants all the glory, like A-Rod said, like a starting quarterback, and there's a little guy, you think he'd be trying to help the little upcoming little guy to get his little feet wet or to help him or whatever, but instead you're trying to smash your little dude because DeSantis is young and he's great and he's going to be around long after Trump's gone. DeSantis is going to still be around. He's going to be our top dude. So that's why I'm seeing all these Trump people, they're all trying to attack him and all that. I'm like, what? But last month, you all loved him. We all loved. To me, he's the best. So if you have something to say about DeSantis, then to me, there's not no other Republican better in office than him. What other better governor Republican is there than him and all that? So if you have so much to say about DeSantis, you should be saying about McConnell, all these other, you should be blasting every other pretty much. Or Republican, they say, oh, well, he backed up Trump because he ran for office. You guys were, so if Rand Paul decides to run for president, are you guys going to be all bashing him? Ted Cruz, you guys weren't doing that before when they were all running for president. Last time you guys weren't all attacking Rand Paul and Ted Cruz and all the other ones. You should be like, and especially because like A-Rod said, I don't think DeSantis has no chance whatsoever. Trump will mop the floor, win it easily and all that. So if you know he could win it easily and you feel no threat or nothing by it, what's the point of attacking a good fellow patriot for anyways? If Trump's going to beat him, Trump's going to beat him. So what's the point of attacking one of our own best people? It makes no sense to me at all. And it even shows that's kind of like a snake old move. To me, that's like snaky. Like I said, DeSantis is great. To me, he's like, I don't see no other Republican that's better fighting for him and all of that. So I don't know why they're attacking, especially say A-Rod, like I told him earlier. If I knew A-Rod was going to fight with the little 2-year-old or something like that, I know A-Rod's going to win. So I'm not going to worry about it, sweat it at all because I know he's not no match. Same with Trump. If you're confident, you know that he's going to win like I do, then you have no need to. You should be like, you know what? May the best man, like you said, if two of your friends were going to fight, May the best man win. I'm gonna stay out of it. I'm gonna try to talk you out of fighting and all that. But if anything, you guys go at it. Best man win. I'm not gonna let nobody hurt each other. You know what I mean? You're gonna be like that, eh? You're not gonna be attacking on one of the other ones, or like it just, to me, it's like snakish moves, and it shows. I see a lot of idolatry in a lot of these Trump people, and like you should not. You should be like, you know what? I'm voting for Trump. I love Trump or whatever. But DeSantis is the homie too. He's the homie. He's good. He's gonna be up there one day. Trump will beat him if he wants to run. So be it. Maybe hopefully Trump puts him as a vice president. You know what I mean? Why don't you say that? Like, well, why do you got to be all attacking him, all sick, and then every criticism I hear about him, it's like, you can say that about any other Republican in office. You know what I mean? And oh yeah, all that stuff that you're saying about DeSantis, were you saying that when Trump endorsed him? Before Trump endorsed him? So Trump, so you're saying Trump endorsed a bad dude then, right? Because Trump endorsed DeSantis. You know what I mean? So to me, it's just a mistake.
I'll let Alfred go real quick because I want to stay on that train of thought. I think that a lot of people do love Trump, and I could see why, right? I think it's just because, and I'm going to be honest, whether people like it or not, I'm just going to be honest here. Trump doesn't have the same momentum he used to before. And I'm not talking about people that that support him, don't support him, because he lost a little bit of support. I'm talking about very minimal. I mean, this dude's got a following that, like I said, nobody's ever going to ever match. But I think the amount of people that came over, everybody's coming at the same time is right. Okay. I think when you're fair and firm and you're having an honest opinion about him, I think, and this is just anybody who's a hardcore Trump supporter, here's my problem. Who is the biggest rhino that we know in the Republican movement? It's McCarthy, right? McConnell, those type of people, right? McCarthy will stand next to Trump. The only reason why we don't pretty much ban McCarthy, because Trump hasn't said it. That's it. That's what it comes down to. If Trump were to say, hey, McCarthy's bad, that'd be the end of him. McCarthy has done 1,000 things worse than DeSantis. I mean, that's you can't even compare it. The dudes, McCarthy said the elections were not stolen. McCarthy said January 6th was the worst. Has DeSantis ever said anything worse than that? Like, be honest. Never. No, right? But everybody will accept him because one person said, this guy's worse than this guy, and I'm standing next to this guy. Trump will be like, hey, this is the rhino group, but I'm standing next to the biggest rhino right here. And then everybody's going to be like, well, it's whatever it is. And I think that's Trump. Like, I don't blame him for that because I know that's Trump. That's his game, right? The dude's from the streets. That's his game. The dude's, if I was a billionaire, I probably would act just like him. I'm like, oh, what? This dude's a rhino. And don't pay attention. That's my homie. He's helping me out. You're like, he's a rhino. Yeah, be quiet. I don't care. But I think that for us just being fair, I think it's good if you're going to sit there and bash DeSantis, it's only fair to bash all the rest of them and not just stay quiet because it doesn't fit a certain agenda. I think that's being honest. I think it's okay to be like, hey, McCarthy's bad, and I don't know why Trump has him there, but whatever. And DeSantis, yeah, I may not like him because of Trump or whatever, or just stay out of it. I just feel like it's a bad move because it doesn't even make sense when you got a lot more rhinos that nobody talks about, right? And they sit here and bashing him just because it's like a pump-up case. It's like the big homie coming to you and be like, hey, what's up, fool? And you're like, what's up? Hey, look at that fool over there. I don't like him. And you're like, I mean, he's all right. Hey, go tell that fool something. What? Go tell. Okay. Go tell that fool. And you go over there and you're like, hey, what's up, fool? You don't like me? I don't know. You know what I mean? The homie's telling me I don't like you. And all of a sudden, you have beef with this fool because the big homie wants you to. I think a lot of people started to dive into DeSantis. Nobody's perfect and finding things just because the big homie told you that you didn't like him. And I don't think that's fair. I don't think, honestly, I think everybody should just, when he does that, I think Trump's smart. Nobody should play off of it and let it lie where it may. Maybe he'll turn around and do that. I just don't think it's a smart move when it's comparing like that. But go ahead, Alfred.
Yeah, I think for the most part, we need to understand a couple of things that are happening with Trump, right? Some of the mistakes that Trump has made is just choosing the people. The people around him have been pretty much, as we say, the swampy as they get, right? For example, right. He already knew he had McCarthy. He already knew all these people that he chose around him, right? Like Ray, Barr, right? So something that we got to understand is that, you know, some of the things that Trump lacked, I can say this because, you know, again, I voted for Trump and I understand some of the things that are happening is that he's surrounding himself with people that he really doesn't know, you know, and he doesn't have a good solid team to actually foresee some of the things that are happening. That's exactly what happened when he chose Barr. That's exactly what happened when he chose Ray. You know what I mean? These people that were in there, that been there, that are considered part of the swamp, you know, these people are the ones that were leading him to make these choices. So Trump needs to clean house. Number one, he needs to clean house around his cabinet. He needs to work on the messaging. We got to stop, you know, going back to the 2020 elections. I feel that right now, a lot of people, I'm seeing through the thread here, some people, Trump is turning people off because the election, he focuses that as one of the points. But we got to understand one thing. If we already know that's going on, then we need to focus. What is the action plan? What is next?
Right.
As Latinos and conservatives, what do we got to do? Well, listen, the left is already telling us what they're doing. We don't have to go far. Number one, they've already started activating the DAs, right, to go after these phony cases, right? Something that we should already start doing to begin with, right? We should already start having all our red state attorney general,
DAs, all the DAs and all the R states should open investigations on all of them.
Everybody.
We should start activating that. This is what they're doing. So we got to play. I think for the most part, the people on the right or Republicans need to snap out of it. You know, these people are on the war path. You know, they believe that they're in war, and here we are thinking like, no, they're not that bad. No, they're not gonna change laws on us. You know, the parents
They'll do whatever.
The parents are telling us, and the parents are saying to us, no, they're not teaching this at school. Listen, these people are actually, that's what they believe. They believe they're gonna push their agenda to, number one, teach gender, you know, force all these 150 genders to the kids because that's what they thrive. This is part of the liberal progressive agenda. This is what they want. They want to attack the family values, the core values, mom and dad, you know, the marriage between a man and a woman. Think about it. Because if that's already unstable, if you look at the numbers, the percentages in the Latino communities, minorities, the blacks, the Latinos, you're going to start seeing that up to 53 to 60%, you know, the actual structure of the home is not, it's pretty much not there. There's not a marriage between a man and a woman. Either the dad is incarcerated, right? Because he's been doing things, and this is what they want. This is how they thrive. And see, that's why us Latinos, we gotta wake up and we gotta snap out of it. We gotta play like we're actually in war. And it's sad to say, as believers, right? But listen, there was a point where we actually, back in our time, if we read the Bible, there was a time where we actually believed we were in war. And this is the time now. We're not trying to stop the second coming of Jesus. No, but we want you to be educated and to understand that these people have been doing it for 30 years. It's time to wake up, snap out of it, and let's just get a game plan going, right? And Trump needs to do it. Messaging needs to be there. Yeah.
Yeah, you're spot on. And if you really think about it, you were saying it right now. We need an action plan. Like, really think about it. Okay, if I were to, in 5 seconds, if I were to tell you, what's the Republican, what's the Democrats, what's their agenda? You'd be like, do that. And if I told you, what's the Republicans' agenda? You would be like, to combat the Democrats' agenda? Like, we have no agenda. Our agenda is to push the gospel. Our agenda to be the families. All our agenda is blocking their agenda. We really don't. And I think that's the problem, is nobody's coming out saying, hey, we need to push, like really push God. We need to push all our agenda is
nuclear family.
All our agenda is combating them. We're always playing defense. Why can't we play offense? They do it all the time. If you really think about it, what is the Republicans' agenda? To hold on to what we have? We're seeing it change in California. They're bringing all this stuff into the Republican Party. We have no agenda. We're just bending a knee to all the stuff that they're pushing on us. Man, I'm telling you, man, we need to get it together. We need to get it together.
Hey, Alfred, write a few of the questions down.
Oh, yeah.
Remember a few. Right. Yes. Is there anybody put your questions down? But go ahead, A-Rock, go to the next one.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go to the next one because we don't beat that like a dead horse. So, okay, yeah. So I wrote down this, and this is near and dear to my heart because I have daughters, and they're in, jiu-jitsu, and they're playing sports, And I'll tell you what, the World Athletic Organization banned trans women from
Man,
competing, trans men from competing in
Men.
women's sports. And I think that's so awesome because I let me tell you, man, to see my daughter doing her thing in jujitsu, and I'm just like, could imagine, you know, it not being fair if they have to go against some transgender stepping in and acting like it's a girl and beating the crap out of her. When I watch her sweat day in and day out, putting her
exactly.
time in, putting her work in, we're putting money in. I feel like that's the most. If anything, that is so disrespectful. We're seeing what is it? Women of the year are men, bro. Like that's the kind of world we live in. Women are like, bro. If you were to tell us this would be this way 10 years ago, I would tell you you were cuckoo, bat crazy. But it's
Twilight Zone.
here, and the fact that people are not flipping out about it even wigs me out even more. I'm like, you don't care about that? They're like, that's crazy. I'm like,
Because of racism. The other side's racism. That's why. White
I'm telling.
supremacy.
I'm just glad that they're doing stuff like this. I wish more organizations would step up. I wish more people, more parents would step up. Um, I'm telling you, man. If anybody, women are losing the rights. They're losing the rights. So, what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, so
Well,
yeah, it's great that you see the whole world association, but even you see what
Right.
happened in Uganda too, in Africa, that the whole world's seeing that the alphabet mafia, what they're doing, they're trying to ram it down our throats. See how it went. See how the devil is. See how when sin is never satisfied. See, you see how it is when you give the devil an inch, he takes a mile. It don't ever stop. They went from, oh, we want to get married, to look where it is now, where they can't even watch Sesame Street, Disney Channel. They're grooming the kids, drag shows. You know what I mean? Next is pedophilia. They're doing all this coming upon us. It's just bad. Like nobody wants that. But it just even exposes. So for all these women, these feminists, just how fake. Okay, you guys should be able to wake up and see that you've been bamboozled by the Democrats, by these feminists are all fake. Eh? How they're all your feminists, but like A-Rod said, the woman of the year and all that is men, and I mean, like, where's the woman's rights? It's gonna destroy women's sports. That's why it's so good that the World Association did that, because they know there ain't gonna be no women's sports. If that is, that's what I'm saying. Imagine LeBron James or Big O2 wants to play basketball with all the girls. It's totally ridiculous just because they have a mental illness, whatever issue. It That's good that they stop. But imagine even the world and all that, they're waking up. But look, America isn't. America's still right there, the only ones, whatever, all
Hey, hey,
stupid still.
real
Butcher, man.
quick. Imagine if they had like a trans Olympics. It would be like the suckiest guys ever competing against each other. You know what I mean? The guys that couldn't win normally, it'd be like, you know what I mean? The 100-meter dash would be like at 15 something, like just a sucky trans event. Anyway, go ahead, Alfred.
Yeah,
Just
like
laugh.
that. Make them have their own. Let them have their own.
Yeah, get out of
Especially
here.
the left. Why don't you pay for it, Soros? You know what I mean? Pay for that. All you Hollywood Democrats, let them have their own. See what ratings they get on that. You know what I mean? See how many people want to go watch
Let
those
Gabrielle Union pay
sports.
for it. Yeah, let
Yeah, it's going to
Gabrielle
be all
Union pay for
ridiculous, but that's good. I mean, that's so good that the America Association did that, and I just that's we need to stop that. We need to get all that crap out of there. Speaking up, it's like I said, all you women should know that all that feminist movie. Look at what they're trying to do. They're brainwashing you, saying, "Oh, your body, your choice." When it ain't that, just so you can imagine that they manipulated you to murder your own children. Like, to imagine that you're trying to justify murdering babies because they told you that these evil left told you that to murder your babies because of women's rights, all that, which is to murder your baby. And look at now, they're just showing they don't care about you. They're just so they're pushing. They just want to push this godless evil agenda. So just wake you women. You should wake up. Stop falling for this feminists. They just want to ruin the families. You know what I mean? Women, they don't want you to be like the women of the Bible, the Proverbs 31 women. But go ahead, Alfred.
Yeah, no. Actually, around the lines that Ara was talking about, there was actually a cartoon that I just saw over this couple of days, where you have Putin and President from China, Xi, right, shaking hands, right, and at the same time they're like, hey, they're writing a pact together, right? There's a document that was written as they met, and they say, don't worry, let's sign it now because and then you look on the other side and you see Biden. Right, he's willing these what do you call those when a clown is putting the what is it the juggling the volleyball the what is it called
pins.
the pins.
Yeah.
Don't worry, he's distracted with the progressive and he's distracted with all this stuff that he's throwing at the American people, and it says, and that's the reality. You see, this is the way cartoonists see. This is what the way the cartoonists see that it's happening in America, that we're a joke. In America, everybody around the world are laughing at America because they're saying that, hey, well, and over the last 2 months ago, I think you guys saw in the news, you also saw Putin come out and he spoke on this. And although I don't like Putin and I don't like what he's doing, but the guy is pretty consistent. The guy is pretty consistent on saying, listen, do you guys believe that the West, is murdering their own kids? The West is indoctrinating their own kids, and he's telling it how it is. And listen, sometimes, although you need to hear the truth from the other side, it's the truth that is happening here in America. So what do? Us as fathers and as family members, we need to double down, on teaching our kids our moral values at home, because we know that outside our home, what's going to happen? They're gonna take over. They're already doing it through the corporations. They're already doing it through the education. They're already doing it through the laws. They're already doing it through the party. It feels like we're back in 1930s, back in the Nazi party, right? Back then, that's the way they did it. That's, if you pay attention to the history, this is the way the propaganda worked back in back in that time. Hitler used propaganda to drop down morals on number one. They got everybody to think that there was a racial division between the Jews and the Germans, and this is the way he propagated that. How is the Democratic Party propagating the same thing? Race baiting. It's all about race. BLM.
Oh, yeah.
It's all about attack on race. This is what they use to stay in power, and this is exactly how the Democrat Party is using some of the same playbook to couple down a nation that they believe is completely racist, and they believe that everybody. And the reason why they believe is racist is because of you, because you're a believer. This nation was built on moral values, on God, and that's what they don't like. They're godless.
Bro,
they don't like God.
Think about this. Our country's so bad when it comes to racism that Latinos lead California when it comes to transgenders. That it's so bad that they can't be Hispanic, that they could just change their sex. America's so bad that Gabrielle Union and her husband, the African Americans, all they talk about is, you should be more welcoming to the trend. That's how bad racism is. They're not even you think Hispanics are focused on their own race? They're over there making themselves another sex. Gabrielle Union and them are worried about their kid being another sex. You think they're focused on it's so hard to be black or Mexican? It just disgusts me. This is the reason why we're being talked about and why America looks like a freaking freak show to the whole world, bro. We look like a freak show. You ever see a clown freak show? That's what America looks like to everybody, because we have it so good, but yet the left is hypnotized to think we have it so bad that the only issues that we're really fighting are issues like this. Being able to chop off your you-know-what, bro. Chop off this and become this. You know what I mean? I want to be this and run against this. I want to be this and not. We have people acting like little kids at schools, barking like dogs. But you're oppressed? You know what I mean? And that just sickens me when it comes down to, and I heard this a long time ago when it comes to racism, and people, and I truly believe this, the true racists, I mean, we got some racists on the conservative side, but the agenda and the true racism comes from the left, and they don't want equality. They want revenge. The left does not want it to be the same. They want you to be down here and them to be up here because for some reason they have it in their head and they're manipulated by the white left to say, hey, check it out. Equality, that's not good enough. Actually, we need to oppress them. See the white guy over there, the one that's making money, that money is yours. That should have been yours because it was made off the backs of some people about 200-300 years ago. But don't worry about all that. We just need that money, right? Who cares if they're working hard for it and you're not? We're going to take it. That's all we care about. And I'm just sick of it, bro. I'm sick of it. A lot of Latinos are sick of it. We want to make money. We're entrepreneurs. We believe in capitalism. We believe in God. And we need to have an agenda. We need to push back. And the agenda that the left is pushing is something that we just need to forget and leave that in the past and realize that's never going to work. And I think people are. So I hope that more conservatives and Latinos and just people in general that believe in God will wake up and see that. I hope maybe one day they will.
Amen. But go ahead. You have any questions, Alfred?
Yes. So we have Rose Thorne says this. Yes, but she mentions yes, but according to whose moral values? Your own? Then
The Bible,
an imperfect.
Word of God.
She's asking a question. She said yes, but according to whose moral values? Because I say, hey, let's continue to push our moral values. Number one, my moral values are never going to change. I love God, right? I love family, right? And I love, this nation. So, my moral values is number one is according to what the Bible tells us, our values are, which is thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal. You know what I mean? If you read the Bible in Genesis, in Exodus, you'll read in regards to these laws that God left for us. Those are our values. You know what I mean? Read them carefully. So it says your own, that it's an imperfect human being. Your own values will always fail. Again, 100%. I agree.
Well, we don't. That's why we do what the Word of God says. We obey His because His don't ever fail. Not on us or what I think Jesse thinks and all that.
Right.
That's why we follow the Word of God or follow those values.
This is what I got to say to that. And I don't know if she believes in Christ or she's a believer in the Word, or maybe she's not, and maybe she is. And yes, we're not perfect. But I know this is what the Word of God, and I truly believe this. When we stand before the Lord, you're going to stand alone. And when God plays back everything you've done, you're going to be judged off of the things of God, right? What you believe, what was morally right in the Word of God. So yes, you may not believe what I think is morally right, but at the end of the day, when you stand before the Lord, only I'm going to be accountable for what I have done. So you may not agree what I think morally is right, but I'm doing it because one day I know I will stand before Him. So my moral decisions, at the end of the day, I'm sorry if they hurt your feelings, but I'm only serving Him. That's who I'm accountable to. So, when we say that, we keep that in mind because we know we are going to stand before Him one day. So, maybe you're not a believer, but that's kind of, what we go off is the Word of God. But you got another question? There's some more haters out there?
Yeah, there's she's saying I'm a Christian. Oh, she responded. She said she's a Christian. Somebody mentioned, OMG, this is hilarious. Then somebody mentioned the Trans Olympics. Yeah, so somebody's asking questions. Trans Olympics, yep. Trans-Olympic. And for the most part, I don't see any other. If you guys want to participate, go ahead and shoot us your messages. And yeah, we got it. Rose Thorns. I know we're answering a little bit. There's a delay on the feed.
I'll say right now, too, is everybody in the Southern Cali area, I'll be on April 2nd. Go to the Coliseum. I'm going to be out there, be one of the speakers, but it's going to be a great time worshiping the Lord. If you don't know anybody, if you invite people that don't know the Lord and all that, because then if there's a good chance that people could get saved right there. We're going to be doing testimonies. We're going to be praising, worshiping, great speakers and everything. So anybody in the Southern Cali area, come out on April 2nd to the LA Coliseum. I'll be there. Lexi Crew will be there.
Awesome.
Cool.
Awesome. So that's
all
it.
right, so we'll end it up. The guy watched the
Jesse's got to watch the UCLA game. But Alfred, go ahead, close us out, brother. Close us out.
Yep. Well, do you want it in prayer or what?
Remember your last words, bro. Your last words. So real quick, yep. Just to people that they may watch it now and then watch it. Alfred is one of the they always call him like unsung heroes, right? When you have a movement and you have a lot of people that are part of the movement. There's some people that don't get notoriety, right? There's some people that are not out there. A lot of the times, there's a lot of people doing a lot of work, and then you may see Jesse's face or my face or Sylvie's face or other people's faces. And Alfred is a brother that's always grinding. Every time we have a show, he's producing, he's in the background. He wasn't even, supposed to be on the show today and come on, but he is. He said, okay, I'll come on, whatever. Rain or shine, he's like, what time? Let's do this. And I appreciate it, bro. I really do, because we need, when they always say we have too many chiefs, not enough Indians. Bro, you're both.
Amen.
That's a special role to play, that you could do both. Because in this movement, a lot of people want to do one and not the other. And I've been guilty of that. I'll be the first one. But to do both, bro, and play and put both caps on, I appreciate that. And I truly believe that God has sent you to Lexit to help us out and be a part of that. And I just want to give you a shout out, bro. I appreciate that. You're always here when we're here, and you're always boots on the ground or in the background, whether you're in the face of the on social media or not. You're still doing the work, and I appreciate that, bro.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, A-Rod. Yeah, for the most part, the last words, man, I just want to encourage everyone, stay focused, stay in prayer, continue to read your word. And remember that this fight, at the end, remember, after all this is said and done, at the end, we know Jesus is coming. And we know what the Bible says, what's the outcome. So for some of you that are getting discouraged about the politics and things don't put your trust on men, put your trust on Jesus. Because that's the most important thing, that's not going to fail, because it's already written that's what's going to happen. So for us, let's just continue to tell the truth, speak the truth, and stay strong in the faith. And that's about it, man. Thanks so much for joining the Lexit tonight. All right. God bless you guys.
Yeah, we know we win in the end. All right,
Yep.
everybody. God bless.
Take care.
Hi, this is Kathy DeHart with DeHart Construction Services, located right here in the Inland Empire. We're a family-owned business, and today our youngest member of our family is visiting. Kinsey, can you say hi?
Hi.
Now, Kinsey, I have an important question for you. Where do you think food comes from?
A market store?
You're right. But before it gets to a market, we have farmers and dairies and all kinds of other people who make food. Do you remember hearing that?
Uh-huh.
And then we have people who have to keep the food cold.
And guess what?
What?
I remember we getting strawberries at a little market.
Well, Papa and we work with companies that make food and keep food cold and gets it to the grocery stores.
That's cool.
DCS is a proud supporter of the American Dream. For all of your cold storage or food facility needs, visit our website at chillwithdheart.com. Once again, chillwithdheart.com. Serving all of California, CSLB 949062.